Alright, what's going on everybody? Mando Trading here, and a lot of people have been asking for this, so I figured I would just make it, and hopefully all questions will be answered. But I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about prop firm trading or getting funded. And in this video, we're going to talk about how to do it, why would someone want to do it, and is it worth it? So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Like this video, would appreciate it, and anytime you got questions like this, we could always go through and do it together. So alright, let's get into it here. So by default, the prop firm that I first found out about and that I chose and that I've been with since is Apex Trader Funding. Just to be straight up, there's so many of these that I'm sure do a great job, but me personally, I found one, liked it, had no problems with them, have no problems with them, have never had any problems with them, and that's why I stuck with them. So so this is the website, Apex Trader Funding, and we can just, this is the main screen, but we'll go into that about in a second. But here's just some details about it, yada yada yada. But let's come on over to the about, and you can kind of see this is all about them, obviously, but here are evaluation accounts. So the way it works is you would subscribe to one of their accounts, and you know what, maybe we could do that first. I'll come back over here. Where is it? Let's see, here it is. Okay, so you choose between one of these accounts. They have a ton of different options. Okay, so you have your $25,000 full, 50K, 75, 100K, 150, 250, right? So you'll notice that here it is a monthly payment. Now that is essentially your risk, right? You have the right to trade with a $50,000 account, but your max risk in this situation is just your monthly fee. Okay, and it'll tell you what is your goal for a $50,000 account. It's to achieve $3,000 before dropping $2,500 in the account, right? Now the tricky part about this is that, let's say you go up $1,000, right, and you are one step closer to your goal of $3,000, but at $50,000, now you're at $51,000, right? Your trailing drawdown also moves up. Okay, so now if you're to lose $500 on the next trade, your trailing drawdown is still up from that $1,000 gain that you had, and that's the difficult part. Some people run into problems with that. There is a chance where you end up going, let's say you make $2,900, right? You're $100 away, and then from that point you end up dropping $2,500. You're out. Okay, so that is the difficult part about this, right? I think a lot of people just see it, oh wow, it's a cheap way to get free money to trade with, essentially, and you still have to be methodical with it, or to me, you're just burning cash, whatever your monthly is. And I know it says these numbers here, but ultimately they often do promo codes, discounts, and everything like that. And you'll notice that there's one type for Rhythmic, which is a trading software, and the one that I use is Tradeovate. That way I can just bring it right over to my trading view and trade right on the screen, and that's why I like it. But so anyways, you're going to pick one of those accounts, and obviously you have to meet the criteria for that threshold. Now let's just go back over here and let's just see some more details. So you could trade full-size contracts, right? There are probably other firms that might not allow you to trade a full mini, and maybe they only allow micros or something like that. Only one evaluation step of 7 trading days. Okay, so they've been doing it a little bit, but I don't think it's active right now, where they literally say 1 day to pass, and if you make that $3,000 in 1 day, you get a funded account. Now the thing is, when they don't have that running, you have to maintain that over a 7-day period, right? They're not just going to grant you access to all of this money without meeting the criteria for their, for earning a funded account through them. So let's say you pass it on the 6th day, you got to still trade 1 more day in order to meet the criteria for their passing. Now, if you trade too many contracts, it simply rejects the trade. It does not fail you. Okay, that might be a rule for somewhere else, but not quite here. No daily drawdowns. I think there's another that does, if you lose $1,000 in one day, they automatically shut you out. You could trade on holidays. That's a futures perk. Trade during the news. A simple rule: manage risk. The large live trailing threshold, right? So you have that trailing threshold that you always have to be aware of. And if you were to go to, or if you were to do this account through Tradeovate, you would have access to Tradeovate, where it would give you the layout on all of that. So trade any strategy that suits you, of course. Include free real-time data, and reset fee if you were to fail. Because ultimately, if you fail, and let's say your monthly subscription charge was $50, that again is your max risk. If you lose that $2,500 in the funded account because it is demo, it's not real money, you do not lose anything more than your original monthly payment. So now, let's say you kill it, rip through, get that funded account. Once you get that funded account, they send you an email. You have to fill out and sign the contract, give them some of your information in order for it to be, legal and everything like that. You pay a performance fee. You have two options. So your monthly payment is no longer. So if you're paying $50 a month, you pass your funded account within 1 month, that fee is no more. You now have to pay your performance fee, which it's for the $50,000 accounts. It's $105 each month, or I forget what it might be, like $175 or something like that. Maybe somebody can back check me on this, but if you're you could do a one-time payment on that account, or you do your monthly $105 and everything like that. And from that point, once you have that performance account or funded account, the same criteria applies, where you want to reach that goal of 5,300 52,500. And the reason for that is, if you're to reach that 52,500, your drawdown stays at $50,000 for the life of that account. Meaning, once you go over $2,500, that trailing threshold does not move anymore. So everything above that is essentially yours, right? They do have, I believe, your first $25,000 with them is all yours, and then everything above that, I think it's a 90% to you, 10% to them split. Now, I think a lot of people think, oh my gosh, I get funded and I lose that money. That's going to look so bad. There's still demo accounts. They reserve the rights to trade copy or turn your account live in the performance, write-up that they send you in their email. But, again, it's not, the risk is essentially what you're paying for your evaluation or your performance account. So that's that. And then let's go back over here and just take a look. And they have, again, these are all the different options. I use the Tradeovate because I can link it directly through TradingView. It's much easier to trade. And let's just use the 50 as the example. So your goal is 3,000. Your trailing threshold is 2,500. You could trade a max of 10 mini contracts per. That could be dangerous, but here's your compatible with all these different softwares. You'll get a NinjaTrader license as well if you want to use that, and your real-time data fees, which could run you up a little bit, are also included in the account. Now you have a bunch of different options, and here's your evaluation reset: $100 reset, no limit. Reset any evaluation you have as many times as you want. Paid funded account. Okay, so here it is, $105, yep, per month, and you can have a max of 20 at a time. It includes data and one-time fee options as well. So let's just see, because I remember it said something about this. Okay, cool. Yep. So your lifetime fee, if you wanted to do this instead, if you have a lot of faith in yourself and you have a feeling that you're going to keep that account, rather than paying $105 a month, you could pay that $140 and you don't have to pay again. So yeah, this is let's see. Oh, this is with Tradeovate. It's 160. Sorry. So I guess that 140 is for Rhythmic, but so it'll be 160. But yeah, so ultimately, I went that route, and the reason I went that route is because I did have a regular futures trading account, and of course, the ability to trade minis, it's just a different ball game in terms of how much money, or how the money moves, I guess you could say. So when I went to this, I thought not much of it, but good practice. And ultimately, if you were to pass, now you have, a decently sized account that you're working with for really, again, limited risk, in my opinion, right? People are throwing 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 on options contracts when, you don't necessarily have to do that. And that's the one thing. I guess I should put it this way. I'm not sure if there are any options trading prop firms or anything like that. I've never heard of anything like that. Maybe there is, but this is all futures. So, if you trade SPY, if you trade QQQ, any, IWM, like energy, CL, there's so many different names that you can trade by doing this. They should have a list of what you can actually trade somewhere on here, but you can use the minis, which are, for example, on NASDAQ, it's $20 per point, or you could trade the micros, which is much less risk, and you could trade more than one of them. Of course, you have to deal with fees, but those fees are coming out of your, essentially a demo account. It's not coming out of your wallet or anything like that. So, but yeah, I mean, and then in short here, minimum trading days qualify in as little as 7, and then just some criteria for what they consider a trading day. With our live trading threshold, you never have to worry about daily drawdown. You can monitor this live. Yep, so you can monitor it live on Trade of 8. That's how I was doing it. You could trade on holidays. Yep, maximum position sizing. Right. So I'm guessing that with this, there are some that probably max you out on how many that you can, or how many contracts that you can have at a certain time. Trade during news. So you are able to trade that futures 23 hours a day, 5 days a week. So all that 8:30 news that comes out, while you don't have to do anything, but if you wanted to trade after, let's say a CPI drop or something like that, you will have access to be able to do so. And then obviously the one simple step, hit your profit target before you hit your max drawdown with 7 days of trading, and you qualify. And like I said, there have been a lot of promos recently for discounts, and also one of them was even 1 day to pass. So if you were to score $3,000 in a day for a $50,000 account, you're done. And you'll see there's a difference in each one of these accounts in terms of what your profit goal is, what your drawdown is. So we've been looking at the 50,000. Those are the ones that I have. But if you look at $150,000 for your goal here is 9,000 with a trailing drawdown of 5,000, right? So I guess in short, my thoughts, and again, the way that I thought about it was getting into futures trading, using your own money. I wasn't putting all that much money into the account and everything like that, so I wasn't trading the minis, I was trading micros, and it might seem a little bit not as much, I guess you could say. The micros you're making much less money on those than what you would if you were to be trading minis successfully. Of course, you can make more money, but you could also lose more. I think that's fair to say. But with all of that said, the way that I looked at it was, I'm working on my scalping strategy, right? And just trying to be as pinpoint and precise as I could possibly be. So the way I can do that is, why not pay whatever it was in order to get that essentially a paper trading account, right? But the difference between paper trading and what this prop trading would be in your demo or your evaluation stage is that you essentially have a chance to earn a funded account, right? So while you're paper trading, the end goal is really nothing, and there's really is no emotional entanglement there whatsoever. So while you are trading towards a goal while using these prop firms, you are, there is some emotional aspect to it. Of course, it's not all that much money in terms of what your monthly fee would be, right? If it's $35 or $50, whatever it is, and you're paying for that, that's your max risk in that situation. Now, when you pass that account and you get your funded account, you could still fail. And if you fail, you don't just reset your funded account. You got to start over. You got to go back to your demo. So then that 100, whatever it is that you paid, that's your max risk in that situation for the opportunity to make money on X, whatever that funded account would be. So I'm thinking that might be all for this. Let's just see FAQs and if we can run through some of these. No, it's not really showing me. Yeah, I'm not really seeing any questions here. Yeah, no, I think that's all good. So I think that's it for this video. And yeah, so hopefully that helped. Hopefully that cleared up some questions and stuff like that. But yeah, to me, the way I looked at it was it's not all that much money, and I have a chance to earn X amount in funding that I could use in order to trade and, eventually make some money. But yeah, here it is. Receive 100% of your first 25K per account, 90% beyond that. So after you hit that 25K, they take 10%. 2 payouts per month. Oh, that's actually really, I wish I saw this earlier. 2 payouts per month, so it's every 2 weeks essentially. Let's see, and I think that might be all, but I definitely wanted to add that. Yeah, so that's all I got for this video. Again, let me know what you think about the funded account idea in the comments. And if you haven't already, subscribe, like the video, share it with people who might be asking that same question. And again, we will talk soon.